Picture this. You wake up to another day in your bonus half of life, the golden years you've worked so hard to reach. But instead of feeling excited and energized, you find yourself stuck in a mundane routine. It's like Groundhog Day, with a full schedule of nothing stretching out before you. The only certainty seems to be your morning cup of coffee and scrolling through the headline news, which only serves to deepen your feelings of depression as you take in the state of the world and the seemingly inept political landscape. You remember the America you grew up with, a place that now seems like a distant memory, having ceased to exist a decade or two or more ago. The younger generation appears lost and directionless, grappling with their own struggles and uncertainties, a heartbreaking reality supported by researchers. As you reflect on your own life, you can't help but miss the friends who have either passed on or are no longer capable of socializing, like in the good old days. It's a bleak picture, isn't it? Here's the thing. Retirement doesn't have to be this way. You have the power to shape this chapter of your life into something meaningful, fulfilling, and joyful. And one of the key ingredients to making that happen is prioritizing socialization and connection with others. In today's episode, we'll explore why socializing is so crucial for retirees and how it can help combat feelings of isolation, boredom, and depression. We'll also discuss practical strategies for building and maintaining social connections, even if your old circle of friends has changed or diminished over time. So if you're ready to break free from the retirement rut and to rediscover the joy and purpose that comes from connecting with others, stay tuned. It's time to take control of your bonus half of life and create the retirement experience you truly deserve. Welcome to my podcast on how not to retire, a psychological approach to retiring healthy and wealthy. Episode 11, the vital role of social integration. Greetings, I'm your host, Dr. Richard Himmer, and welcome back to our podcast series on navigating the retirement journey. In today's episode, we'll be exploring a crucial aspect of retirement that often gets overlooked amidst the focus on financial planning and leisure activities. We call it social integration. As we transition into retirement, it's not just about having enough money or filling our days with hobbies, but also about maintaining and building meaningful social connections. Throughout this segment, we'll dive into the reasons why social integration is so important in retirement, the challenges that retirees often face in staying connected, and practical strategies for cultivating a thriving social life in this new chapter. Whether you're already retired or planning for the future, understanding the vital role of social integration can help you create a more fulfilling, joyful, and purposeful retirement experience. So let's get started. Humans are hardwired for social connection. From the moment we're born, our relationships with others play a crucial role in shaping our sense of self, well-being, and happiness. In fact, research has consistently shown that strong social connections are linked to a wide range of positive outcomes, including better physical health, improved mental well-being, and even increased longevity. In retirement, the importance of social connection becomes even more pronounced. For many of us, our work lives provide a built-in social network and a sense of belonging. We spend years interacting with colleagues, collaborating on projects, and forming friendships around the water cooler. But when we retire, those daily social interactions and structured relationships, they disappear, leaving a significant void in our lives. Without the social context of work, retirees can find themselves feeling isolated and lonely and perhaps disconnected. This is particularly true for those who have heavily identified with their careers or who have neglected to cultivate strong social ties outside of work. Loneliness and social isolation have been linked to a range of negative health outcomes, including depression, cognitive decline, and even an increased risk of chronic diseases like heart disease and diabetes. But the good news is that retirement also presents a unique opportunity to redesign our social lives in ways that truly reflect our values, interests, and desires. By being proactive and intentional about social integration, we can not only mitigate the risk of isolation, but also create a rich and rewarding network of connections that bring the ever-elusive joy and meaning and purpose to our lives. While the importance of social integration in retirement is clear, many retirees struggle to maintain and build social connections during this transition. Several common challenges can make social integration more difficult in retirement. So one of the biggest challenges is the loss of daily structure and routines that work provides. When we're no longer going into an office or interacting with colleagues on a regular basis, it can be harder to find natural opportunities for social interaction. We need to be more proactive and intentional about seeking out social connections, which can feel daunting and uncomfortable at first. Another challenge is that retirement often coincides with other significant life changes that can impact our social networks. For example, we may relocate to a new area. We could lose touch with our former colleagues, or perhaps experience shifts in our family dynamics as our children grow up and our parents age. These changes can disrupt existing social connections and require us to build new ones from scratch. Retirees may also face practical barriers to social integration, such as limited mobility, transportation challenges, or financial constraints. Health issues or caretaking responsibilities can make it harder to get out and engage with others, while tight budgets can limit our ability to participate in certain social activities or groups. Finally, some retirees may struggle with internal barriers to social integration, such as shyness, self-doubt, or perhaps a fear of rejection, which has probably been a lifelong challenge. After years in a familiar work environment, putting ourselves out there and forming new connections can feel intimidating, maybe even scary. The key to overcoming these challenges is to approach social integration with a growth mindset, a willingness to step outside our comfort zones, and maybe a commitment to self-care and self-compassion. By being patient with ourselves, seeking out support when needed, and staying open to new experiences and connections, it's possible to navigate the challenge of social integration in retirement and create a fulfilling social life that meets your unique needs and desires. So how can retirees cultivate a thriving social life in this new chapter? Well, here's some practical strategies to consider. Number 1, pursue your passions. Well, 1A or before 1 is know your passions. One of the best ways to meet like-minded people and form authentic connections is to engage in activities that genuinely interest and excite you. Join a club, take a class, volunteer for a cause that aligns with your values and passions. While you're doing something you love, social connections, they just follow naturally. Another idea, leverage existing networks. While retirement may change your social landscape, chances are you already have some valuable connections to build on. Reach out to some former colleagues and neighbors, or perhaps friends that you've lost touch with. Attend alumni events or reunions. Nurture relationships with family members. And this topic I've spoken on a number of times, and I emphasize the idea of learning how to connect with the ones you love the most. During your work years, perhaps you were just too busy. You had so much on your mind. Too much was going on. Boy, now is a great time for you to just practice the skill set of being interested not only in your children, but in your grandchildren. By strengthening these existing ties, you can create a solid foundation for your social life in retirement. Here's another one. Might be a little uncomfortable. Embrace technology. In today's digital age, technology can be a powerful tool for social integration. Join online communities or social media groups related to your interests. Participate in a virtual book club, which is really a blast. Discussion forums or hobby-based groups. Use video chat platforms to stay connected with long-distance friends and family. Just about every morning, and definitely every day at a minimum, My wife's phone rings, and grandma talks to grandchildren who are no longer in the area. Every holiday, we're communicating with our grandchildren. We plan trips around coming to them and the different activities that we're going to do. These online interactions can't replace in-person connections, but they help supplement it. They help expand the social network. And I have multiple grandchildren who are very, very young. They won't remember Grandpa, or they call me Baba. They won't remember Baba unless I'm constantly in front of them for the first year or two in their lives. Another idea, be a joiner. Seek out groups, clubs, or organizations that cater to retirees or align with your interests. Many communities have senior centers, lifelong learning programs. That's a big one. I put emphasis on lifelong learning programs. Or age-restricted residential communities that offer a wide range of social activities and events. Joining a group can provide a built-in social structure and make it easier to connect with others who share your experiences and life stage. There are commonalities in which you can talk about. Take the initiative. Remember, social integration is a two-way street. Don't be afraid to take the initiative in reaching out to others and making plans, and don't expect others to reach out to you and fall into that victim trap of feeling, woe is me, I'm helpless, hopeless, and powerless. None of that is true. That's a false narrative. Invite a neighbor over for coffee, organize a potluck with friends, or suggest a group outing to a local attraction. Go on a hike with some friends. By being proactive and taking ownership of your social life, you can create the connections and experiences that matter most to you. Ultimately, cultivating social connection in retirement is about being open, proactive, and true to yourself. By pursuing your passions, do you notice the emphasis on you, how critical you are? So getting to know who you are gives you the purpose. Giving you the purpose allows you to structure your social activities. So back to this, by pursuing your passions, leveraging your existing networks, embracing technology, joining groups, and taking the initiative, you can create a rich and rewarding social life that brings joy, meaning, and belonging to your retirement years. So here are 10 examples of activities that can help with social integration in retirement. 1. Volunteering. Joining a local volunteer organization or charity can provide opportunities to meet new people. You can contribute to the community and find a sense of purpose. 2. Joining clubs or groups. Seek out clubs or groups that align with your interests, such as a book club, a gardening group, a sports team, pickleball, cornhole, golf. There's just a host of them, swimming, or hobby-based organizations. These provide a natural way to connect with like-minded individuals. 3. Taking classes, the lifelong learner concept. Enrolling in classes, workshops, or educational programs can help you learn new skills while interacting with others who share your curiosity and passion for learning. And when you learn, you create neurons. And when you create neurons over and over again, you thwart, you disable, you interrupt the aging process. 4. Attending community events. Participating in local festivals, fairs, concerts, or other community events can help you feel more connected to your neighborhood and provide chances to meet new people. 5. Joining a fitness center or gym. Engaging in group fitness classes or regularly attending a gym can lead to social interactions and even new friendships with fellow fitness enthusiasts. 6. Participating in social clubs. Many communities, such as senior centers or age-restricted residential communities, have social clubs specifically geared towards retirees. These clubs often organize various social activities, trips, and events. 7. Traveling with groups. Joining group tours or travel clubs can provide opportunities to explore new places while connecting with fellow adventurers who share your interest. Just a side note, my wife and I took a trip to the Holy Land 20 plus years ago. We still have contact with some of the people that we met on that trip. 8. Engaging in online communities. Participating in online forums, discussion groups, neighborhood Facebook pages that keep you notified what's going on, garage sales, activities. That's a huge way to connect and know what's going on in your immediate geographic area. And because it's online, you're not in your immediate, so your extended geographical area. Number 9, mentoring or tutoring. Sharing your knowledge and experience with younger generations through mentoring or tutoring programs can really be intrinsically fulfilling and a way to give back and form meaningful connections. And 10, attending religious or spiritual gatherings. If you're religiously or spiritually inclined, attending regular services, study groups, or faith-based events can provide a sense of community and opportunities for social interaction. Remember, the key is to find activities that genuinely interest you and align with your values. By pursuing your passions and staying open to new experiences, you're more likely to form authentic connections and build a strong social network in retirement. It allows you to avoid the Groundhog Day experiences. Among the activities mentioned, joining clubs and groups that align with your interests might be the easiest to start with. And there's several reasons for. 1, the accessibility. 2, the shared interest. 3, there's a very low commitment. 4, it's a structured activity. And 5, it's potentially skill building. Depending on the type of club, you can deepen your existing skills, you can learn new skills. There's many reasons that might be the low-hanging fruit in this process. So as we summarize this, as we've explored this segment, social integration is a vital component of fulfilling and meaningful retirement. By understanding the importance of social connection, navigating the challenges of this transition, and implementing practical strategies for cultivating social ties, you, the retirees, can create a vibrant and a supportive social network that enhances your overall well-being and quality of life. Remember, this idea, social integration, is a journey. It's not a destination. You don't just arrive. It's an ongoing process which adds flavor, a quality to it that you can literally taste. However, it requires patience, self-compassion, and a willingness to step outside your comfort zone. Be forgiving of yourself. Have a little grace for who you are. The rewards of a thriving social life in retirement are well worth the effort. By staying connected, engaged, and true to yourself, you can create a retirement experience that's not only financially secure, but also rich in wealth, which we call joy and purpose and belonging. So as you navigate this new chapter, embrace the power of social connection, nurture your relationships, pursue your passions, and stay open to new experiences and possibilities. Your social network is a key ingredient in creating a retirement that truly fulfills and inspires you. Thank you very much for listening, and until next time, may your habits harmonize with your purpose and bring your happiness, joy, and well-being into your retirement experience. All the best.